A home survey is designed to highlight potential issues, giving you the chance to make informed purchase decisions. But what exactly should you be looking for? I'm Tim Clarke, Chartered Building Surveyor and Managing Director at Harris & Clarke Chartered Surveyors, and I'll be looking at some key red flags you might find on a home survey and why they matter, or why they might not. One of the most serious red flags that can appear on a home survey is structural damage. This could include issues with the foundations, walls, or roof structure, and it often signals major repair work ahead. Some common problems include cracks in walls and ceilings. Large and growing cracks, particularly in load-bearing walls, can indicate settling foundations or more serious structural issues. Sagging floors or ceilings. This could indicate that the structure of the home is weakening or there's been water damage compromising its integrity. Uneven floors, often a sign of foundation issues, or this could point to water-related damage. While some minor cracks and settling are fairly normal, anything beyond that could result in costly repairs and might even impact the safety of the building. It's important to remember that, while signs such as uneven floors can indicate structural deficiencies, these can sometimes be dealt with relatively easily or might not need remedial work at all. There are many different influences on how buildings behave, and competent building surveyors should not immediately jump to providing a condition rating 3 or red flag when it isn't necessary. Dampness and mould in a property are not only unsightly, but they can also cause significant health issues, such as respiratory problems or allergic reactions. During a home survey, damp can be identified in various ways. Black spot condensation mould may appear on walls, ceilings, or windowsills, especially in areas with poor ventilation. Musty odours often indicate long-standing dampness, and discolorations or stains on walls or ceilings can point to ongoing or past water leaks. If dampness is found, your surveyor should be in a position to diagnose the cause and necessary remedial works, which aren't always expensive. If your surveyor provides you with a report telling you to obtain further advice on a damp issue, that can be a red flag in itself. Qualified and competent building surveyors should be the most competent professionals providing advice on building dampness. The roof is one of the most important parts of your home, and issues here can be costly to address. Roof damage might not always be visible from the inside, but a home survey will often identify signs of current or impending failure. Loose or missing tiles can result in leaks, which will cause water damage to ceilings and walls. In the worst instances, the roof may be nail-sick and need to be replaced soon. A sagging roofline can indicate structural problems or damage to the roof trusses, which can be very costly to fix. Blocked or damaged gutters can lead to water damage or water ingress. Depending on the survey type and whether the surveyor has provided cost estimates for remedial work, as with other red flag issues, you might want to obtain contractors' estimates prior to committing to purchase. With design lifespans for electrical systems being around 25 years, and boiler lifespan expectations being as short as 10 to 15 years, it's no surprise that services can raise potential red flags, even on relatively recently constructed properties. Here are some red flags to watch out for in a home survey. If the property has particularly old wiring, it's unlikely to meet modern electrical standards, or it could be prone to faults or even fire hazards. Homes built before 1989 still commonly have pull-out fuses, which can be inconvenient and lack safety mechanisms. Plumbing issues can lead to water damage and long-term structural problems, as can leaking sealants. Normally these issues are addressed quickly, but not always, especially when we're looking at leaking sealants. Lead water supply pipes can mean that water is delivered into the property contaminated by lead. These can require replacement in some circumstances, but often, while this sounds alarming, these types of pipes are so furred up with limescale they're effectively internally sleeved and can be left as they are. It's in the services section of the report that we see many unnecessary condition rating 3s or red flags. For example, some surveyors will mark a gas or electrical installation as a red flag, even where there is some recent servicing documentation available. So if you see a sea of red in the services section, you'll need to ask your surveyor directly whether they actually spotted a problem or just being overly cautious. Older homes may contain hazardous materials like asbestos, which was commonly used in construction until the late 1900s. We consider homes to be at risk if they predate the year 2000. Some other common red flags could include asbestos, which can be found in cement boarding, ceiling finishes and elsewhere. Note that a home survey does not include a full asbestos survey, but if noted during their inspection, your building surveyor will likely flag this in your report. Asbestos is not always a real problem, especially if it's undamaged. Homes built before the 1970s may still have lead-based paint, which poses a health risk, particularly for young children, although this is becoming less and less common. In certain areas, radon gas can be a concern. A radon test is sometimes recommended, though if found it can often be easily addressed. The presence of hazardous materials doesn't need to stop you from purchasing the property. You should discuss with your surveyor how to manage these safely, however. Damaged drains can lead to structural issues. Unfortunately, during a survey, your surveyor won't be able to see inside underground drains. If they suspect a problem with the underground drains, they might recommend a CCTV drainage survey, which can highlight damage which can be expensive to address. If this is recommended, you should arrange for this survey to take place before committing to purchase. There are plenty of potential areas for red flags to arise both within the survey itself and even with your surveyor. If your survey report contains a number of areas of red, I would recommend a good chat with your surveyor before you decide whether the red flags really are red flags or if remedial works required are actually reasonably manageable. The traffic light status of RICS reports are a regular issue of contention and are discussed at length between surveyors themselves, as well as on online property discussion boards. So don't be too terrified by all the red on your report until you really understand the reasons they were given a red status. If you are buying a property and need pragmatic advice on your purchase from a friendly, competent and highly trained building surveyor, our team can be reached on 020 8153 1233 and will be pleased to discuss your survey requirements with you.